Hey, what's up, champions? Donnie Bovine here, CEO and founder of Success Champions Networking, author of Endless Stream of Referrals, and the founder of the Badass Business Summit. This year, I'm excited. We're bringing the Badass Business Summit back to Fort Worth, Texas, September 22nd through the 24th, and this is going to be an event like no other. 23 amazing speakers all around the idea of business development, business growth, and how to scale your business. Networking at a level that you have never seen before. Attendees last year said this is the best business conference and event they have ever attended. You will walk away with actionable insight, tangible things that you can use in your business. This isn't a conference where you're going to come and just leave with pages and pages of notes and never implement. You will be taking actions during the event, working on your business so you can build to business freedom that you set out to create here through everything. You're going to grow your business with amazing get shit done individuals that will inspire you to go bigger and louder. So the Badass Business Summit takes place live in Fort Worth, Texas, September 22nd through the 24th. We have one goal and mission: to get you in the right mindset and giving you the skills that allow you to grow and ultimately scale your business. It is the one business growth event you can't afford to miss. Get your tickets at badassbusinesssummit.com, and we are excited to see you there.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Badass Business Summit Speaker Series. Do not adjust your screens. You are in the right place. My name's Kevin Snow. I'm the Chief Operating Officer for Success Champions, and I'm standing in today for Donnie Bovine as he is out doing some really cool interviews, promoting the new book, Fuck the Focus, and talking about the Badass Business Summit. So today we have a really awesome guest with us, and her name is Dr. Stevie Dawn Carter. She has been with us since the beginning of the Badass Business Summit. This is her third appearance, and we are excited to be able to talk to her and find out her best memories, what she's doing this year, and why everyone needs to come to the summit. Welcome, Stevie.
Hey, Kevin, good to see you. And you know, when Donnie is not here, that just means you and I can do whatever we want. So I'm down for it. I'm all about it.
Oh yeah, this is going to be fun. We will be telling Donnie stories, and we will be having a little bit of fun without him. You know, when the cat's away, the mice will play. So
exactly. We should do this every year.
Definitely. So I kind of teased that you'd been with us since the beginning of the summit. You were one of our first keynote presenters that we brought on for the summit 2 years ago when we launched in 2020. Last year, you came back and you were the MC for the entire event. And this year, you're keynoting again, and you're also helping us with all of our other speakers and making sure they're all up to par and they're ready to rock the stage. So I have to ask, why do you keep coming back?
Kevin, it's for you. That's the only reason I do this. It's for you.
I completely understand that. So
no, you know, I think so I love the summit, I think, for two major reasons. And both of them are in that promo video that you guys put together. But for me personally, there are so many events I go to as a speaker. I travel all over the country. I speak on average 2 or 3 times a week. So I am in front of audiences and conferences all the time. This is the one where I have fun, right? As a speaker, I have a good time. I enjoy the lead up to it. I enjoy the happy hours. I enjoy the networking. This is an event that makes me happy I attended, not just because it's my job. And so that's reason number one for me, is this is the one where I have fun and I get to enjoy myself. So that's reason number one. Reason number two, this event always motivates me to make change in my business. And I've been in business 8 years. So I've been doing this a while. I have a pretty good method, a pretty good model figured out. But every single year, there's been another speaker up on that stage that makes me think differently and then do differently, right? And I always go, so I do a business retreat for my team every November. sometime October, November. And so this summit is like our kickoff, because I always come away with some idea that I want to take into our retreat, and then we implement the following year. So I can't say enough how big this event is for me personally and for me as a business owner. So that's why I keep coming back, and I hope I can always come back. That's my dream, is that it's just on my calendar till the end of time.
We hope you can come back every year too. So I love that you talked about that this is the one where you have fun. Mm-hmm. And because one of the things that we do really differently that I love about this conference is that our speakers don't just fly in, do their presentation, and then jet off to the next thing. You know, our speakers are there the entire summit. They're participating in all the sessions with all the other attendees. They're out there networking. They're building relationships. They're learning things about their business, and they're involved. You know, you don't get to see them on stage, stand in a line and try and catch them, you know, for the 5-10 minutes after the presentation, and then you never see them again. You know, you actually get to sit down and actually have real interactions with them, and actually get to expand on the stuff they talked about on stage during their presentations, and get more out of it.
Yeah. Well, and those connections, right? Like we talk about networking, and I think that's I mean, it is the word, but I hate the word, because I feel like people think that's just, well, I just handshake some people, throw out some business cards, and maybe set up some one-on-one coffees later if I remember, and if they remember, right? And all these things. What I love about the summit is because we all stay. Like, people show up day one and they stayed the entirety of the conference. And again, that's not normal, right? I mean, I fly in, speak, fly out. I don't stay, right? This is the only conference I actually, quote unquote, attend. And every speaker does, but also every attendee is there the entire time. So by the end of the weekend, I've actually already had those one-on-one conversations with people. I don't have to wait for next week. I don't have to reintroduce myself. Yep. I already know them. I know about their families. I know about their businesses, because we really have that time to connect at a deeper level. And I think one of the things that helps that is the summit is built with that in mind. That's actually one of the goals. And you see that in the agenda, in the planning, in the schedules, that we're meant to have these conversations on site. Don't just wait till the week after or 2 weeks after, when we've slept and we've forgotten things. Let's actually meet and connect right now. Yep. And I mean, I've gotten coaching clients out of it. I've gotten great connections and referrals out of it for other things. I've used people that I met at the conference and their business. I use their products and services. And all of that because we actually got to know each other face to face in real life in that moment, and we didn't have to wait. And I love that.
Yeah, it's as we're building out the schedule, you know, one of the nice things that we looked at is we wanted engagement. We wanted it, just like with Success Champions Networking, the big thing we wanted was for people to be able to engage with each other. Donnie and I have both been to conferences and conventions where you're back to back to back to back the entire time you're there in front of speakers, and there's no time built in to actually interact with people. So you might have some real superficial conversations with the people on the left and the right of you. If you have a really great speaker that has some engagement built in, you might have some more, a little deeper conversations, but there's no chance to actually sit down with people.
Yeah.
And that was really important to us as we launched the first one, is we didn't want that type of experience. We wanted a ton of high energy speakers and people to walk out with, wow, I got so much out of it. But we also wanted them to be able to say, wow, I made some really cool relationships.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. I feel my summit friends are friends for life. Like, we're still connected years later. We still refer and do business together. And I can't say that for other events I go to.
Well, and it's really cool because we still have members from SCN that we see on a regular basis who are still talking about the summit, and it's been 6 months.
Yeah.
It's been over 6 months since we had the last summit, and they're still talking about the conversations and the speakers. They're talking about SA and his onstage orgasm.
Indeed.
If for all the listeners that are wondering, wait till he is on with Donnie in about a month. You can ask him about that. We're not going to go into it right now. But you know, they're talking about and the karaoke. They're talking about all these really cool things You know, I love it when they talk about us as the speakers, but they're talking about all the stuff they did as attendees.
Right. Right. And what's, what we have to remember as business owners, right, is that the clients, the people you serve, however you serve them, whatever your business is, at the end of the day, right, it's a connection.
Yeah.
That's all it is. And they continue to come back because they continue that connection. And a lot of times that connection isn't made from a speaker up on stage to the 500 people in front of them, right? It's in those one-on-one conversations, or in those, what we call in the kind of coaching world, shared experiences. By having karaoke, by having the sex face on stage contest, by having all of these things, those are a shared experience that anybody who wasn't there last year isn't going to have the same shared experience. But what that means is everybody who comes this year is going to share in that experience, and that's going to make a deeper connection. And that's what it's all about at the end of the day, because as business owners, connection is our profit. And that's what we have to remember. I always say to my clients, connection equals cash. So make more connections, you'll make more cash.
Nice.
Yeah.
So this year, your presentation, we have you on the main stage again, really kicking off the summit. Donnie and I are going to talk a little bit, and then we're going to bring you up to really set the stage for all the attendees. And your title this year is Unstoppable Success.
Yeah. I think unstoppable success is one of my favorite phrases, and it's something I use every day, because I think there are so many times, especially as business owners, but also in just regular life, where we stop ourselves from success. We get in our own way, as Donnie likes to say, get out of your own way, right? We get in our own way all the time when we're trying to do things or trying to adjust to this person's vision or what that person needs, or we're talking too much or we're not talking enough, all the things. And so for me, I really had to learn years ago that the only person that controlled my success was me. It wasn't everything else, right? And we blame it on external factors. Oh, well, they didn't like me, or I'm not getting enough leads, or whatever. At the end of the day, it's you. You're the one who chooses to be successful or unsuccessful. And so my presentation is all about the 3 things you have to make sure that you can be unstoppable, that you're not going to put on the brakes when things get hard, or take the easy way out, or get a detour because of something somebody said. You're going to focus on what you want to get out of it, and you're going to have the things you need to make that happen. And I think that applies to business, but also, since I am opening the summit, I'm going to talk about how to get the most out of the summit. Because if you go into the summit with these 3 things, you're going to come out with more out of the summit because you didn't get in your own way. And that's what I think it is. And the 3 things, super simple: mission, motivation, momentum. Those are the 3 things you need. You need a mission, you need some motivation, and you need momentum. And we're going to talk about what all that looks like as a business owner and as a summit attendee, and how to get the most out of both.
Awesome. I think this is a really key topic for all business owners. The whole concept of head trash and imposter syndrome and all the things that keep us from continually moving forward and getting better at what we do is so important right now with everything that's going on in the world and business and whatnot. Donnie and I do a weekly sync meeting where on Mondays, we get together on Zoom and we literally talk about all the stuff that's going on in all the different companies and what needs to be done. Make sure we're staying on top of things. We're not dropping the ball on stuff. And we're actually adding a piece into our weekly agenda where we have to, each of us have to share one thing that we did the last week to work on ourselves and to keep pushing forward. Yeah. Donnie loves it. I'm not so sure because not my personality, but it's really important that we do that type of stuff. And we are actively working on that growth piece.
Well, and I think there's so many different ways, right? Wherever you are in business, there are growth opportunities for you. And some of it is business related, right? Growing into a new market, growing a new company, growing a new audience, a new product, a new service, whatever.
Learning a new skill.
Yes, growing a new skill so that you can do more, right? Learning how to beyond podcasts, learning how to write a book. Like these are all things that build us in business. But I think what we also have to remember as business owners, and what I love is in the summit, some of our speakers are going to hit on this part as well, which is some of that growth is just about you personally. It's not about a business skill. It's not about an ability. It's not about an idea. It's about how are you growing you, whether that be your mind and your mindset, whether that be your emotional stability, because this is a roller coaster to be on. Maybe it's about, your health, your wellness, right? It can be all the things, right? And I think that's important too, is always reminding ourselves as business owners that, and whether you work with a team or whether you're a solopreneur, it doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, your energy dictates your success. And if you don't have enough energy because of whatever is pulling you back or holding you back, you're not going to have the success that you want. And so I think it's important that we talk about those things. I'm so glad you guys are talking about it every week. Like, what did I do to grow this week? Right? One of the number one things I can tell you I did to grow last week is I drank less Diet Coke. Now, that may not seem like a growth effort for a lot of people, but for me, it is huge. Kevin, this is my first Diet Coke and caffeine of the day, and it's
nice.
After 11. Like, that's some serious growth for me, right? But why am I doing that? Am I doing that because I really care about losing weight or being healthy? No, I do that because I need more energy, because I run more than one business, as y'all do. And when you run even more than one, you need even more energy to get it done. And I know that letting that go will help accelerate my success. And so we got to talk about that stuff too.
Yeah, my big one this week is I started working out again.
Good.
On a regular basis.
That's
I
awesome.
kind of did it sporadically enough to be able to pass all the things I need to do for the Army. But now I'm in a conscious state of, all right, we're going to do this every day. We're going to look sweet for the stage at the summit.
There you go. I can't wait. I can't wait to see you. It'll be amazing. Right. But what a growth thing that really has nothing to do with business, and yet has everything to do with
it. Has a ton, because it gives you, for me, I will easily at night sit in front of my computer as I'm watching TV and doing stuff and work on business stuff. Now I have to get away for a half hour, 45 minutes and not focus on business and do something else. So it gives me that out that's actually going to help me stay more focused on the stuff that needs to get done when it needs to get done.
Absolutely. It'll keep you more focused during the day so that you have that time whenever you're choosing to have it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
good.
We promised everyone at the beginning of this that we were going to talk about Donnie.
Oh, let's.
So we need to make sure we get that in before we're done with this slide. So we have two ways we can go with this conversation. We can have our favorite Donnie memories, or we can have our funniest Donnie memories. Or just the funniest Donnie stories,
My funniest Donnie memory / story is actually from the summit last year. So I've known Donnie for 7 years now. So we've been together a long time, in each other's businesses a long time. And last year at the summit, so I've always seen Donnie as that person who is at the front, big man in charge, always the center of attention, all the things. And my funniest memory of last year, it involves me, and anybody who is at the summit is going to remember this because there's photos of it everywhere. So he was running that VIP event early in the morning, but I was there because I was awake. And so watching his face as I started to push myself into his comments and make comments, I've never seen Donnie turn that shade before. But like just his face. And what's great is if you ever go back and look at the photos, you see the face change on Donnie over time as Stevie Dawn gets closer and closer to his space and taking over his room. And it was so funny to me because I never used to think of myself as an equal to Donnie, right? He was my first coach. So he was always up here and I was down here. And that was a moment for me last year where I was like, oh, I'm up here now with you. Oh, that's cool. Here, let me just step into your space. And so that his face was the funniest thing to me in that moment. But it was also one of my favorite memories because it meant a lot to me that I felt good enough to be there as well. So that was good for me. And it was funny for him because then I got to make more fun of him, which was also good for me.
Yeah, I'm not sure who we tease about that more, him or you. Him for getting pushed out of the stage that was his VIP session, or you for doing it.
So, I don't know. I have no idea, but I know I hear about it all the time.
Yeah. So remember when you were doing a VIP session and then you weren't?
And then magically it wasn't yours anymore.
And we have the stream of pictures that Greg took for us last year where you can see each one, next one. Oh, she's closer, and then she's closer, and then she's now she's just in the middle.
His like side eye, like what is happening? Oh my God. It's so funny.
Oh, and that what you're talking about is really cool because that is one of the cool things about Donnie, and one of the cool things about the summit is our goal with this is to get people on stage and give them their first chance to be the spotlight and to up their
favorite
game.
Part of the event.
Yeah, it is totally cool. And to let them be on their first big stage where they now can say, well, look, I was a keynote or I was a workshop presenter or a breakout presenter at the Badass Business Summit. I spoke in front of 150 people. Yeah. And now, and help get rid of some of that head trash. So I'm not good enough to be on stage. Hell, I am a total introvert. But I've been on stage now
on stage all the time.
Yeah, I get up on stage all the time now, and I've been in front of 1,000 people at times. And that it's a bit stressful for me, but it's fun. And I don't have the imposter syndrome of where I'm freaked out about what's going to happen when I'm on stage. I just get up and go now. And it's really awesome. And it's, Donnie giving people chances like that at the summit is one of the coolest things about this event.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And I think it's something that he also understands because in his background, he wasn't always a speaker. Didn't always love the stage. He had to grow into that. And so I think he sees that importance, right? And growing that in others. And it's always so cool to see. I remember as MC last year, getting to like talk to a speaker who was like a little nervous before they went on because it was like their first big stage where they had walk-up music and a whole platform and bright lights and all these things. And just getting to share in that with somebody is a really cool thing. So I love that too. Yeah,
and that whole concept really added into what we're doing this year for the speakers with having you on board as our speaker coordinator, where we're actively now working with all our speakers to make sure that they not only are they giving a great experience to all the attendees and they're ready to rock and roll, but they're having a great experience as a speaker. And that they are loving this whole concept of me being on stage so that, once they're done with us, they can now go to another stage and say, dude, I did this and look at my speaker reel. I want to do this for you and not have that whole thing going on in their heads. Like, well, am I good enough to be on this stage? Hell yeah, you are. Look what you did at the summit.
Yeah.
So
in reality, right, we're growing the attendees and we're growing the speakers.
Yep.
And not a lot of events are like that. That's not an issue for a lot of events. It's just get the speakers and let them do their thing. Yeah, if somebody's new, let them do their thing may be really scary. So let's give them that coaching and support so that when they get up there on that stage, they kill it and they feel amazing.
Exactly.
And I think that's really neat.
So what are you looking forward to most this year?
And number one, first and foremost, just seeing everybody. Like last year, I made so many good friends, but a lot of them don't live here. So there's an element of we've done some Zooms, we've done some catch-ups, but I can't wait to just hug their necks and see people again, just because I felt like the connections were so strong. They're some of my closest friends and some of my clients now. And so to get to see them live and in person, I think is something I'm really looking forward to. I'd say the other thing that I am really looking forward to is with this new structure and how we're doing the speaker prep. I've already gotten a little bit inside scoop on some of the speakers and their presentations, and I can't wait to see it all come together. And some of these presentations are going to blow people's socks off. And I'm just super excited to have that little inside nugget of detail and be able to know when I show up, it's going to be incredible. So I think those are the two
Yep.
things I'm really looking forward to.
And it's really cool because we have a little bit of stuff for everyone. So wherever you're at in your business growth, we're going to have stuff for sales. If you need to figure out the sales thing, we're going to have stuff about marketing and business development. We're going to have stuff about mindset if you need to work on the mindset and the personal growth. And then we also have stuff about operations. You know, how do you bring on VAs? How do you bring on your first employees? How do you build a team and hire effectively? So we have a little bit for everyone, which is really cool. It's not super focused on only one topic that leaves you wishing you, hey, I wish we talked about this type of stuff. Yeah, we're talking about it. It's going to be there.
Absolutely. There's all the different topics. And I think also, because I know she just put it on the screen, I want to plug, get a VIP ticket. Like the VIP sessions are when all the goodness is happening. And Dennis, I see your comment about wanting things that are embarrassing to Donnie. Those happen in the VIP sessions. So if you're interested in those, that's where you need to be. You need to buy your VIP ticket because that's where that kind of stuff happens. But the real like work and getting that private hot seat coaching style, that stuff happens at VIP. So you might as well buy the VIP and get everything you can out of it.
One of the things I'm most looking forward to this year, because I didn't get to see it last year and it's a VIP event, is the VIPs up on stage. Yeah. So we have last year we did we filled in some time while we were setting up for the live podcast for Growth Mode, where Pablo, and he'll come on it later and talk about this, but Pablo went through this little mini workshop on how to get on stage and be a badass and do a really good pitch. And then they got a chance to go up on our second room stage and actually give their pitch in front of the crowd while we're setting up. This year we're doing it. It's going to be for the VIPs, and 6 VIPs are going to get to actually get up on the main stage in front of the entire summit and tell their story about their company. And one of them, we're going to vote on it at the summit. One of them is actually going to get invited back, and we're going to help them craft a presentation to do at the summit next year. That's so I'm really excited to see what these people do and what they come up with for their time to be on the big stage and get some pictures that they can show off to, everyone and start their speaking career.
Oh yeah, so important. And last year I talked about being a speaker and some of the things that you need. And one of the things I always say is if you want to speak on stages, you got to have pictures of you speaking on stages, which is kind of hard because it's that idea of you need experience, but how do you get the experience?
Yeah, exactly.
But we did that for people. We had a stage with a big banner and big lights, and we all took our phones out and took photos of every person who got up on that stage, mic in hand. And so people left with those photos of them on a stage. And that's such a cool thing. And I'm excited for the VIPs this year.
Yeah. So September 22nd through the 24th, we are at the Hilton Medical Center, Fort Worth, for the Badass Business Summit. We have 17 different speakers coming into town. We have like 23 different sessions you can attend. And there are some surprises that are going to be added to the schedule that no one knows about yet that Donnie and I will be releasing as we get closer. You have 2 options for tickets, $397 for the VIP, which is what we want. There are only 25 of those, and there are like 10 of them left. So you want to make sure you get those, or you can get our standard ticket for $197. And there are less than 100 of those left for the summit. So you want to go to badassbusinesssummit.com, check out all the speakers. You can see more about Stevie Dawn and her presentation and see everyone else that's there. And then make sure you are joining us in the summit this September. And you are ready to grow your business.
Absolutely. Can't wait to see everybody there. Get your tickets now. Don't wait. You got to start making travel plans. We all know how flights are right now. So get on it. Let's not waste time. And you definitely want to get those VIP tickets before they sell out.
Hey, thanks everyone for being with us today. Thank you, Stevie, for joining us. Can't wait to see you again in September.
Yeah. See you soon.
Hey, what's up, champions? Donnie Bovine here, CEO and founder of Success Champions Networking, author of Endless Stream of Referrals, and the founder of the Badass Business Summit. This year, I'm excited. We're bringing the Badass Business Summit back to Fort Worth, Texas, September 22nd through the 24th, and this is going to be an event like no other. 23 amazing speakers all around the idea of business development, business growth, and how to scale your business. Networking at a level that you have never seen before. Attendees last year said this is the best business conference and event they have ever attended. You will walk away with actionable insight, tangible things that you can use in your business. This isn't a conference where you're going to come and just leave with pages and pages of notes and never implement. You will be taking actions during the event, working on your business so you can build to business freedom that you set out to create here through everything. You're going to grow your business with amazing get shit done individuals that will inspire you to go bigger and louder. So the Badass Business Summit takes place live in Fort Worth, Texas, September 22nd through the 24th. We have one goal and mission: to get you in the right mindset and giving you the skills that allow you to grow and ultimately scale your business. It is the one business growth event you can't afford to miss. Get your tickets at badassbusinesssummit.com, and we are excited to see you there.